What if the family that built a nation is also the one preventing it from changing? What if the pillars of progress cast shadows too deep to ignore? Welcome back to the story that blends legacy with controversy. You saw part 1, the meteoric rise of the Lee family, the political power, the economic web, the Oxley Road showdown. But that was only the beginning. In part 2, we're going deeper into the machine behind the dynasty, the hidden influence, the quiet tensions, the next generation, and what the future of Singapore might really look like with this family still at the helm. This isn't just about Singapore anymore. It's about the price of legacy, and whether a nation can outgrow the family that built it. Let's dive into part 2 of the Trillionaire family that owns Singapore. Beyond the throne, the Lee dynasty's quiet empire. The Lee family's influence didn't stop at the Istana or Parliament House. It seeped into the bones of Singapore, Temasek Holdings, GIC, statutory boards, and think tanks. While not always directly managed by the Lees, many key figures in these entities were appointed or influenced by PAP leadership, a political machine co-founded and long dominated by the family itself. And that's where the real grip lies: institutional continuity. Not dictatorship. Not monarchy. Something much more subtle. More enduring. Singapore's meritocratic system often lands top scholars in elite civil service positions. Many of them PAP groomed, Lee aligned, and molded to keep the machine running. Some call it stability. Others, a technocratic echo chamber. The next generation, groomed or ghosted. With Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong aging and signaling a succession plan, all eyes are on the next era of leadership. But here's the twist: none of Lee Kuan Yew's grandchildren appear to be stepping into political roles. Lee Shengwu, the Harvard professor and son of Lee Hsien Yang, openly criticized Singapore's legal and political culture, calling it litigious and authoritarian. In 2017, he was found in contempt of court for a private Facebook post. Since then, he's stayed away from Singapore. His brother, Lee Hongyi, is a high-ranking civil servant in the government's digital services, and the public has speculated whether he's being groomed for politics. But Lee Hongyi himself once said, "I am not interested in politics." If that's true, then the Lee dynasty faces its first real vacuum. Is the family bowing out? Or simply repositioning? Temasek, GIC, and state capitalism. Let's talk money. Singapore's sovereign wealth funds, Temasek Holdings and GIC, control over $1 trillion in assets combined. They are the financial guardians of the nation, but the question is, how independent are they, really? Temasek was formerly chaired by Ho Ching, the wife of PM Lee Hsien Loong, a move that drew criticism internationally for perceived conflicts of interest. While she stepped down in 2021, the legacy remains. The line between public service and private dynasty often blurs. When your wife runs the investment arm and your son leads digital transformation, is it governance or empire building? Dissent in the city-state. Singapore is known for its efficiency, safety, and low corruption. But freedom of expression and political dissent remain delicate topics. The Lee family's grip on power has helped maintain stability. But critics argue it's also stifled political evolution. Opposition parties remain small. Defamation lawsuits have sidelined critics. Mainstream media is tightly regulated. And in this environment, dynastic politics flourishes quietly. The Lee name doesn't need to be spoken, its shadow is already long. Oxley Road, revisited, what we still don't know. The 38th Oxley Road saga was more than a family feud. It was a national moment of reckoning. But what's rarely discussed is how it fractured public trust. The parliamentary hearings, the legal threats, the public statements, all aired dirty laundry in a country unused to political mess. And it left citizens wondering, if even Singapore's first family can't sort out legacy, how will the rest of us? Global perception, local impact. Internationally, Singapore still shines. Foreign investors flock in. Tourists marvel at the skyline. The nation is ranked as one of the most competitive economies on Earth. But back home, whispers grow louder. Is the Lee family's presence a legacy to honor or a burden to bear? Can Singapore transition to a more pluralistic future without chaos? Or is the stability it cherishes too dependent on a familiar name? The invisible hand, cultural legacy or quiet control? It's not just laws. It's not just money. It's mindset. The Lee legacy shaped a national identity, obedience over confrontation, pragmatism over ideology, control over chaos. This helped build Singapore. But can it evolve Singapore? So now that you've seen the deeper layers, from Temasek's $1 trillion reach to a new generation rejecting the throne, what do you think? Is the Lee family a visionary dynasty holding Singapore together, or is it time the country learned to walk on its own? Let us know in the comments. We want to hear your thoughts. Like if you value deep dive stories. Subscribe for more secrets behind the world's most powerful families. And hit that notification bell, because part 3 might just be closer than you think. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and never stop asking, who really holds the power?